Tony's Topics. Tony's Topics. What's happening, folks? My name's Tony. Welcome to Tony's Topics. So what do I want to talk about today? The NBA. Let's get into all things NBA, because there are just certain things that have really stuck out in my mind today. Alright, first off, congratulations to LeBron James. He currently leads the league in scoring. Nice, with like 27-point-something points. Wonderful. Wonderful. Congratulations to the Cavaliers. I saw that last game that you guys played against, I think, Atlanta. It finally looked like Blatt was using the whole of his team. My man finally used Tristan Thompson. Yay! Finally used Dion Waiters. Yay! And from what everybody's saying, there's this guy, Joe Harris, in which it seemed like he was quite productive. Yay! Not to mention, Brendan Haywood still seemed like he had quite a bit in the tank. So, I really test that because, a backup center looks like exactly what the Cavaliers could definitely need. But, with those three young guys, Kyrie Irving in there and Sean Marion being a productive player, the Cavaliers now are starting to look like a 9-man to 10-man deep team. And he can have that. The Cavaliers can have that as long as Blatt develops them over the year. So I'm just really excited to see where you guys are going with that. Congratulations. Now currently, right now as I'm speaking, you're in another, game with the Denver Nuggets, and I hope you pull this out. Denver Nuggets, right? I bet you can hear like he's coming down with the sniffles. You can hear it in my voice. Whatever. I'm gonna push it through, power through, man. Oh. So anyway, good for the Cavaliers on the first part. What am I freaking out about right now? The Clippers. The Clippers are going to play the Bulls. Oh, please, Doc. Please, Doc. Will you please play Spencer Hawes? Will you please start Spencer Hawes at power forward? Please. Please. Somebody said, Blake Griffin's the power forward. No, he's not. No, he's not. Blake Griffin is the small forward. Yeah, he's 6'10", he's 250 pounds, but he's a small forward. That's the way he plays. He doesn't play like a power forward. He gets some rebounds, but it's not like rebounding is what he just loves to stay down there and do. He'll get rebounds, but I don't want to see Blake Griffin getting matched up against the Tim Duncans and LaMarcus Aldridges of the league, or the Chris Boshes even, alright? He's the number one scorer for the Clippers. You want him to be able to come into the basket when he needs to and stay away and shoot from the outside. You want him to be able to, have that decision-making power. But if he has to stay buried under the basket, fighting big 7-foot giants, all you're going to do is wear him out. And you cannot afford to wear out your number one scorer. I repeat, Blake Griffin's the number one scorer. So if he gets tired, there goes the lion's share of your points. Don't do it. Don't do it, Doc. Good grief. Shouts out to Chris Paul. I think he's leading the league in assists. And by the way, speaking of top players, like up until now I heard about everybody talking about Anthony Davis as being the MVP. Anthony Davis being the MVP, and I'm like looking at last year's stats or whatever. I don't know, what did he average last year? Something like 22 points a game, 23, something like that. He was up there right around the bottom of the top 10, I think, something like that. He was the block champion, but then this year's Anthony Davis is averaging, and I know it's still early in the season, right? What are we coming up on? Maybe 10 games now, but depending on which team you're on. But now the current Anthony Davis is averaging 24 points a game, over 24 points a game. Nice, which puts him in the top 6 or 7 shooters in the league, scorers in the league. On top of that, he is literally 0.1 behind per rebounds per game behind DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre gets something like 11 something, and he is if DeAndre gets 11.5, he's getting 11.4. So, arguably, he's going for the number one rebounder. Wait, he is by a long shot the number one blocker. He's averaging 4 blocks a game, over 4 blocks a game. Over 4 blocks a game! I mean, good grief! What's he doing out there, playing volleyball? Goodness gracious, people just seeing their stuff get smacked left and right. Over 4 blocks per game. Woo! And then the real stupid fact, do you also know that he's one of the top 6 stealers in the league? What? A power forward. As one of the top 6 thieves in the league. He steals the ball that much. What? Because everybody knows that's a hard stat to come by. Even Chris Paul only averages slightly, he averages over 2 steals per game. Last year I think he was averaging 3. Again, the season's still early. But the fact that Anthony Davis is dominating in scoring, rebounding, blocking, and steals, goodness gracious. If the Pelicans can really pair this guy with another star or two, and honestly, that backcourt doesn't look that bad. And with Omar Osing backing him up downtown, oh my gosh! No matter what, Pelicans, don't you ever trade him. As long as he looks like that, I mean, seriously, it's like Tim Duncan 2.0. And it's 2.0 because Tim Duncan wasn't this good. I looked at one stat that showed like Tim Duncan's averages per year. Now, granted, again, it's still early in the year, so we'll see how he looks at the end of the season. But I looked at Tim Duncan over the years, and Tim Duncan's extremely consistent. 20 points, 10 rebounds practically every year. With slight variation, 21 points, whatever. But to be dominant in 4 different categories, what kind of freak of nature is this? I'm impressed. So either way it goes, that wraps it up. Oh yeah, back to the Clippers, because I can't get off it. You're playing the Bulls tonight. A real team. Some of the East Coast creme de la creme. Yeah, I know the Raptors are having a nice night, or a nice run right now. Yeah, I know the Wizards are having a nice run. But let's be real. Do the Wizards or the Raptors have the depth to really win the East? I just don't see it. Yeah, Wizards, keep hoping on Kevin Love coming home, because right now you guys are good. Oh, but you're good. But the depth and power to win the East? So, tonight the Clippers have to play the Bulls, and I'm freaking out. Because the Bulls, if anybody's been looking at the Bulls are serious. Jimmy Butler's a top 10 scorer? Whoa! He's either top 10, I think he's top 20. But either way it goes, the fact that they have now paired Jimmy Butler with Derrick Rose in the backcourt, oh man. Then you got Joakim Noah and Pau Gasol. Oh gosh. And then they've got a list of guys that they can play at the small forward. Dunleavy, McDermott, and they got, Taj Gibson in the rotation. Yada yada. The list goes on and on. Henrik, the Bulls are deep. Doc, you can't afford to mess up tonight. You can't afford to not play it right. Put Spencer Hawes in at power forward. Run the team right. That's my time. Tony Topic.